today we're going to engage you, sir, to examine the direction of Nigeria's democracy, the challenges ahead, and what the APM's presidential ambition means for the country's political future. But first off, May 29th. First off, happy new month, sir. We want to say that. Welcome to June. Yeah. So May 29th, it's clocked 7 years in office for Governor Seyi Makinde.
Yes.
So let's look back on how his governance has been. Let's start with that on that note.
Thank you very much. Once again, thanks for having me. Engineer Oluyole Makinde is a natural political strategist. He's been tested, he's very young. He's a silent hunter. He knows when to shoot and he knows when not to shoot. And once he decides to shoot, he will never miss his target. So, having said that, he's a man of destiny. He's a man of purpose. He is a man of unlimited probabilities, whose God is crazy about. So, all these things put together has made him to perform brilliantly well. Look at Umitito. It has been tested. Umitito has become a concept, a theory, a philosophy, an ideology.
Like a household name.
in Oyo State.
Yes. And
he believes that, having done that for the people of Oyo State for over 7 years, and the situation in Nigeria of today calls for a reform, a reset. Let me use this word. Not only resetting, recalibration, retooling of this country for the betterment of our children. Because our children will ask questions. Look at the situation in Nigeria. Mom and Dad, what did you do when Nigeria came under social, political, economic siege? This country is under a siege.
Truly.
Everybody, nobody is happy. People are hungry. People are hungry. Life expectancy is very short. So we need a new Nigeria with new highs and new lenses. A country with confidence in itself, in its people, and its future. That should be a Nigeria of our dreams. And if he's given the mandate, he will perform wonders. I can assure you of that.
Okay, so looking at the fact that he was under the PDP, the People's Democratic Party, yes. PDP, and then the alliance was formed to go to APM.
Yeah.
What would you say spurred that alliance? Because looking at PDP, it has so many factions, yes. I must say, and there's this particular faction that had already declared the former president of Nigeria, President Goodluck Jonathan, as their own presidential candidate. So what would you say it's one of those things that Governor Seyi Makinde already foresaw, and it was like, let me make this alliance? Or what would you say?
No, let me tell you one thing. Let me say that the amalgamation of PDP and the APM is a child of necessity. In order to challenge the present move of government in Nigeria, drawing or dragging us into one-party system, which is not good for this country.
Actually,
we can't do that. If you look around the world today, its chief characteristic is about a change. The force of change outside Nigeria is drawing the need for a change within Nigeria. So, Engineer Seyi Makinde now saw, wow, look at what is going on in this country. The present move of government is dragging us into one-party system. Is it good for this country? Are we better off or we are worse off under the present dispensation? We know that that's okay. Yoruba will say, it is time for us to speak a language of social justice about what is just, unjust, right and wrong, putting everything in its rightful position for the betterment of our children. And even more than that, we believe that Nigeria deserves better. Nigeria is a living movement and not an historical monument. We deserve better. A wealthy country still struggling in the midst of plenty. So it's very important for us to have this kind of amalgamation to challenge the miasma which is characterizing our country, one-party system. It's not possible.
But looking at APM, PDP itself, when people hear it, like you said, Nigeria is already turning into like a one-party system,
yes.
And quite a number of people believe that we only have APC and PDP. So looking at the alliance with APM, how prepared is the party, to compete on a national scale?
Let me tell you one thing. Politics is about calculation, permutation, engagement, and above all, aggregation of interest.
I know that permutations well.
What is the difference between APC APM, PDP married together. I'm telling you, it's more or less the same thing. You understand? So, if you look at the situation in Nigeria today, what have we gained from APC as in charge of governance of Nigeria? Nothing. The level of insecurity is appalling. The level of poverty is appalling in Nigeria. Nigeria is not happy. We are not happy. We need this kind of amalgamation. We need this parties or opposition to come together in order to challenge this APC government, because they are not doing well at all.
So you say that the party is really prepared to...
We are really prepared. It is people that make the party and not the party that makes the people. Because power rests on people. Because look at the level of hunger in the country today. So people will now talk to their senses. Are we better off or we are worse off? We are worse off. So they will change. It will change the mindset. So if they think, Tinubu is going to face him, we are all deceiving ourselves. So the purpose of life is to have a life of purpose. And whatever God has offered, nobody can withhold it. Neither can anyone give what he has denied. There's no appeal against his judgment. So we are fully determined to rescue power from the present of government in Nigeria. And it's going to happen.
So we look forward to seeing that.
We look forward to seeing that. You mentioned the people make the party and not the
party that makes the people.
Now we're talking about one system of government, two party system of government. The current governor is in PDP right now and is running for APM. How can Nigerians trust that? You just said that the people make the party. How can we be sure that APC and PDP are the ruling party? APC currently, but we know APC and we know PDP. So how can Nigerians trust that this alliance now is just people moving from one place to another to come and continue the same way that they've been doing?
They will judge Engineer Oluyole accordingly based on his performance, because you have seen what he has done in Oyo State in terms of good governance and benefit of democracy for the people of Oyo State. So, and he's fully determined to replicate the same thing at the national level. So I told someone this morning, I said he will replicate the spirit of Omititu when it gets to the national level. So because the Omititu today is what we are enjoying here, and he's going to repeat the same thing for Nigerian people to benefit maximally from the new agenda. I can trust you, and it's a man we can fight for, because he, like I said, is a natural strategist. He has a natural talent. He knows what he's doing. He's a silent hunter. I'm fond of saying it. He knows when to shoot and he knows when not to shoot. He will not come out and say, okay, I want to become president. We know it's not going to be easy, but he will get there because people will support him. And he knows he has been comping the entire country, talking to people. See what I've done in my state. If you give me the mandate, I will do better for Nigerian people.
But would you feel like PDP is maybe a divided house, supporting with one faction, supporting another candidate, and then the other parts making an alliance?
Because I am not here to discredit PDP, because there's no difference between Sikh and Afedosi. I am not going to discredit PDP. We are still PDP, but we have amalgamated with APM. So it's the same thing. We are carrying one cap.
So looking at the politics in Nigeria, many Nigerians, they actually feel disconnected from political leaders after elections, because when the campaigns are going on, when so many people are making their intentions known, canvassing for that particular position, after they get into office, the Nigerians themselves, they feel disconnected from political leaders. It's a thing when we know that the grassroots, we have the governor to ourselves in your state, all the 33 local government areas, they could easily say, oh, Governor Makinde is doing this, is doing that. But once he attains that particular, that higher echelon of power, and then the Nigerians I know may definitely feel disconnected from political leaders after election. So how do we how can this gap be bridged?
Well, that's a very technical question.
Okay.
Even you can't blame politicians wholeheartedly for what you have just said. Even the supporter will come and ask for this and that, and If you come to me and say, oh, I want to pay for my school fees, I want to do that simply because I want to contest election, I'm a realist and say it as it is. It amounts to political investment, and political investment is political investment. Investment is poverty on people, because it's an investment. So people will start coming to politicians. I need this, I need that. At the end of the day, they're going to make their money back. I'm sorry to say this. That's the reality on ground. We still have to talk to our people. Let's work together. If you work together, you will benefit maximally from the effort which you have made. But the situation is not like that. But it's going to change very soon.
Okay.
We are going to rearrange that political furniture, not just for an effect, but to a useful purpose, so that if you support me and make me this and that, then there's a reward for that hard work. Like our party before, PDP is now APM. So it's a party of ideas. It's a party that stimulates debate. It is a party that rewards hard work and not privilege. So that's going to change.
But I think nepotism is still
That's going to
play. Okay.
So I don't want to dwell much on that, because you will say so we have the politicians to blame and we have the supporters to blame as well.
All right. So the Allied People's Movement Party, APM,
yes.
How does the party, looking at Nigeria's situation on economic challenges, unemployment, inflation, particularly inflation, and even fuel subsidies, being removed, causing so many hungry Nigerians to be out there, even like you said, hungry and angry. So yes, how does the party intend to address this Nigeria's economic challenges?
Yeah. We've tried APC going to Buhari. The late Buhari spent 8 years. We have experienced additional 4 years. If you add it together, that's 12 years. How long are we going to carry on like that? Look at the level of insecurity.
Exactly.
Look at the level of poverty. There's no hope. There's no aspiration for Nigerian people. People are not happy at all. So people will make a change. People will make a change come 2027, because we can't carry on like this. If the kitchen is too hot for the President Ahmed Tinubu, who's in charge of APA, who is the leader of APC, let him come out of the kitchen and put a younger person that is capable of withstanding the heat and take Nigeria to another level of unity of purpose and progressivism. So a younger man, and I could see that Messiah in the engineer the presidential aspirant for APM. He will deliver Nigeria from this political and economic quagmire of years we found ourselves. It's going to happen because people are not happy. If you have been treating me badly and you have been cheating me and you expect me to remain a fool perpetually, it's not going to happen. One day I will challenge you. Look, enough is enough. It is time to do.
Okay, so
I'm following from my question from earlier. If this APM rather, if they're like to, I don't know how to place it, like if they had to split the votes now, like people that are trying to support PDP or something, if there is a split now, wouldn't this risk, power going to APC still?
I don't think so, because at the end of the day, when we get to the bridge, we cross it. You understand? There's going to be a realignment, cross carpeting. I can assure you of that. At the end of the day, if there's no party with two-thirds majority, is that two-thirds majority?
Yes.
There's going to be a rerun. And if there's a rerun, all the opposition come together and deal with the present move of government in the ruling party and flush them out completely and comprehensively. There's going to be a rerun.
Okay.
If that happens.
So talking about that rerun, how do you think the APM party, can build coalitions and partnerships?
Do you think we are
other political stakeholders?
Like I said, we have someone who's a natural strategist who knows what he's doing, but he will not expose himself because he's a silent hunter. He knows when to shoot and he knows when not to shoot. And once he decides to shoot, it will be on target. He will never miss his target at all. So I trust him anyway.
All right. So looking at restructuring, refixing, and the likes, what is APM's position on restructuring, especially state policing as well, and constitutional reforms?
Well, on the issue of state policing,
yes.
I think APM will look into that, because it's very important to have a state police in this country to combat these insurgents, insecurity headlong. And that's very important. And we cannot be talking about our blueprint or our what we plan for Nigeria, because other opposition would like to steal from it. So we want to keep it on our chest. But we can guarantee you a better Nigeria, a country with confidence in itself, in its people, and its future.
Okay.
Under APM.
Okay. So June 12th, yeah, it's going to be Democracy Day for Nigeria, and looking at the future of politics in Nigeria, what would you say? Oh, okay. What would you say is the next phase of Nigeria's democratic journey? Because 2027, quite a number of people are agitated. They are wondering what is going to go on, because looking at how everything has been, and 7 years of office in Governor Sheyi Makinde, and the 3 years in office. Oh, okay, we have a commercial. So after the commercial, I'm going to ask this particular question. It's still Breakfast Fiesta.
There is a new recipe to delicious tasty meals.
Really?
Oh yes, it's Tasty Cubes chicken flavor. Give every meal that finger-licking taste.
Oh yeah?
Yes, so Tasty Cubes chicken flavor brings out a fantastic taste in everyday meals.
Wow, I love this Tasty Cubes chicken flavor already. It's surely whetting my appetite.
In that case, what are you waiting for? Hurry now and go and buy your own Tasty Cubes chicken flavor to keep that finger-licking taste in your cooking.
Yes, ma'am.
Tasty Cubes chicken flavor brings out the inviting flavor in your meal. Tasty Cubes chicken flavor comes in different pack sizes: 100 grams, 400 grams, and 600 grams. It is also available in powder form.
Wake up, it's choco time. Donna Choco is here with a taste you love. Just open and enjoy the chocolatey ride. Donna Choco 3-in-1. Taste it, love it. Donna Choco 3-in-1. I love it.
Introducing the new Dano Choco 3-in-1. It's tasty, creamy, and satisfying. Taste it, love it.
Fiesta serves you all you need. We make your day come alive.
Alright, welcome back. It's the Breakfast Fiesta on Oluyole 98.5 FM Ibadan. I'm in a conversation with Alhaji Majekodunmi Aborode, a political stalwart, and the focus is Allied People's Movement, Presidential Declaration, and Nigeria's political future. So, sir, looking at the question I was, asking before we go on that particular break, I said Nigeria's political future. June 12th is going to be the Democracy Day, and we're going to celebrate the democracy of Nigeria, like the fact that we are now a democratic. We are using democracy rule of party, to govern the people. The next phase of Nigeria's democratic journey. What particular message would you like to pass across to Nigerians regarding hope, regarding participation, and the future of the nation? Because insurgencies, like you mentioned, unemployment, inflation, it's like we're going round and round in circle. So what is the future of Nigeria's democracy? Let's look at it.
Thank you very much. If you look around the world today, its chief characteristic is about a change. The force of change outside Nigeria is drawing the need for a change within Nigeria. So what we need is a better Nigeria for the betterment of our own children. Because, like I said earlier on, these children are watching, and they will eventually have to, because their own generation is going to be more brutal.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, because they are not happy. The annulment of June 10th is more or less like a political Armageddon in the history of Nigeria. So Nigeria, we haven't gotten it right since that time, and if we cannot carry on this way, how long are we going to carry on with this psycho-political stupidity? There must be a change. We want a change. We want a better Nigeria, a new Nigeria with new rights and new mercies. Failure to secure that, our leaders should understand one thing: there is always a day after tomorrow, and a better house after the White House. All what we are asking for. If we don't deserve their sympathies, The younger generation should be left alone to work out our destiny that is more appropriate to our means and circumstances, because we cannot carry on this way. A country, a very wealthy country, still struggling in the midst of plenty. What went wrong? There's a failure of leadership in this country. And
I want to ask
the younger generation coming behind, they are going to revolt because they don't have the liver for all this kind of patience. And that's where we have to be very careful. All what we are asking for, a better Eldorado Nigeria for the betterment of our children.
Okay, looking at how Nigeria can be divided by ethnicity and religion. Governor Seyi Makinde running for president under APM. How do you think Nigeria can overcome the politics of ethnicity and religion?
Well, it is, this is a problem of yesteryear. If you look at the amalgamation of Nigeria, you are talking of mutually incompatible peoples come together. Even for us to remain as a country up to now, it's a miracle. Our leaders should look into that. At the end of the day, I will suggest, if care is not taken, we are sitting on the keg of gunpowder. The only solution is regional system of government. So let there be a healthy rivalry within the regions, and then we'll be able to move Nigeria forward. Because coming all together like this is a problem.
So
I'm not agitating for any revolution. Don't get me wrong.
Because you're
I'm just trying to make a political suggestion. The only way that result to peaceful resolution or peaceful solution to our problems, of the problem of yesteryear caused by amalgamation of this great nation, is regional system of government.
But looking at it, that Governor Seyi Makinde being a Yoruba man, and the fact that we also have a Yoruba man as the ruling president, so I'm sure that quite a number of people, like Nigeria, like you said, we are sitting on a keg of gunpowder, whereby people think that, is it only the Yorubas that can actually rule, and they also want to be like, let's even give chance to another ethnic group to come into party as well, because they believe that Yoruba, you've done enough and we can see what's going on. Are you sure that's not going to affect?
No, it's not going to affect chance, because he's a younger fellow. He's younger, he's full of energies, and he's full of new ideas, new innovations. You can't compare Seyi Makinde with Baba Tinubu, who is dangerously approaching 80. So what we are talking about is turn by turn youth PLC now. Let us give a younger person a chance to try it and see how it goes, because it has been experimented in Oyo State and it's taking that experience to national politics. That's the difference between Engineer Seyi Makinde and Baba Tinubu. Baba Tinubu is an old man. Let him just let him allow the younger one to bleed and come to the saddle in order to give us a better Nigeria. That's the message.
Like godfatherism.
No, yes, of course. You call it whatever you want to call it, but let the younger generation take charge and be in the saddle. And I can guarantee you will have a better Nigeria than what we are getting now.
Well, let's look at the practicality of everything. It's still in seats until 2027.
Yes.
So how is it going to manage ruling the state, with campaigning for another election, everything?
And I think
what is going on.
I even think that the opposition party are already clamoring and saying so many things. I could see some news, but I don't know. They are not factual. Like saying maybe fighting for his resignation, saying that if he wants to run, he has to resign and blah blah blah. So looking at everything conjoined together.
Don't mind the opposition.
Is he supposed to resign before he can campaign?
What do you expect the opposition to say? You understand? Because they knew that we've been at the saddle affair for your state for 7 years, and they are fully determined to come and disorganize. Are we going to start all over again? No, we are not. We are not, because we have seen a lot of good things. Oyo State people, Oyo State is a great state in Nigeria. They call us what? Peseta state. It was not a mistake to have Christian Oyo State a Peseta state. We must be seeing leading reforms and not telling another. And the split by which Oyo State was created has another meaning by our great forefathers. So you can't compare Oyo State with other states. We are very sophisticated, and we know politics. When it comes to politics of sincerity of purpose, Oyo State is number one.
Okay, so Nigeria's democracy today, what would you say are the biggest threat to Nigeria's democracy of today?
Well, the biggest threat to our Nigerian democracy under the present move of government today is that our democracy is threatened because they are dragging this country to one-party system. And it's not good for us as a nation. It won't happen. Nigeria will resist that, and that's why the likes of engineers they came out. No, we can't have this. We won't allow you to turn Nigeria into one-party system. So because our democracy is highly threatened by the present move of government in Nigeria.
So what factors, what are those factors that will actually determine the outcome of future elections in Nigeria? Because looking at INEC is being, controlled by the ruling party and the like. So how exactly are we going to determine the outcome of the future elections in Nigeria, especially these 2027 general elections? Because quite a number of people have their hopes, raised. They're like, okay, we need a better hand. Exactly. So how exactly, these factors, like I said, INEC is being controlled by the ruling party. Yes. Definitely. So what are those factors, that will likely determine the outcome of the future elections in Nigeria?
Well, like you have said, if we look at the situation critically in Nigeria, the high level of insecurity, I've talked about that. The level of poverty in this country is appalling. People are angry, people are annoyed, people are depressed. The life expectancy is very short. It is in the hands of the people. People will vote. Whether they control INEC or not, people will not allow it might resort to something that you don't expect.
That's actually my fear.
If they try that and they came up with the idea of technical glitch this time around, I could see a road to Kigali in 2027. Mark my words today. I'm not a seer, but I'm just saying it based on reality. Nigeria will not allow that to happen. They knew they cannot try it again. They can't try it again because people will vote in line with their conscience. But you think you can ditch people or you can shoot us and then come up with the idea of a technical glitch? It will not happen. You better be, if you have not bought a helmet, go and buy helmet now because Ojo 2027. That's what we're going to have from 2027.
Okay, so looking at, you already dealt with that presidential declaration. Looking at APM's gubernatorial candidates for Oyo State. Yes. Quite a number of people have so many reservations, and some people air their opinions, and we see so many things on the blogs. So that's challenge of the fact that people are thinking, are we still voting for PDP? Are we still voting for APM? And on that ballot paper, like, which one are we?
APM will come out on the ballot, not PDP
not
anymore.
PDP.
There is an amalgamation now.
All right.
So it's a marriage of convenience. You understand?
Because some people are still thinking, is it still PDP? No, like, some people are still asking that, is it PDP? They would, like, maybe on the ballot paper, like, are they still going to see?
Let me tell you one thing. There is no difference between 6 and half a dozen now. Having married together. We've combed ourselves together. PDP.
No, like, how will you differentiate for people that want to
go? See the logo. It's cassava logo. We've started educating our people. This time around, though, we have entered an era of cassava. So there's going to be plenty of food. So keep on planting your cassava, you get money, you get foreign forex for it. So because it is time for us to do something different.
But PDP on that ballot?
No. There's not going to be PDP on that ballot.
What happens to
we've married PDP and APs together. The APM logo will come on the ballot, and our people will vote. To contest on that APM logo.
On the presidential scale now, what does this mean? On the presidential scale, what does this mean?
The national scale?
Yes. Like when we are contesting for the 2027 general election.
Yes.
So what does this mean? Having APM and having PDP?
No.
On the ballot.
Even, we have about 51 people who are going to contest under APM. The House of Assembly members, the House of Reps, the Senator, and then the governor, and then our presidential candidate. So it's going to be under APM logo because we've signed a kind of agreement with them. So there was an agreement, a kind of MOU between PDP and the APM before the amalgamation.
Okay, so
it's a clear agreement.
So looking at the constitution, Nigeria's constitution,
yes.
We have so many reforms that crops up each day, and I could recall a particular guest. You know, I think she mentioned that when she was actually carrying out her thesis, she went to the Ministry of Environment, and then she noticed that there were actually some rules guiding how to, you know, to have a healthy environment. But so many people do not have; they are not privy to this information. They are not accustomed to this information. So what would you say, Nigeria's constitution, should it be amended further, or should we just stick to it and then put so many reforms in place and then be able to hold people accountable? Because sometimes people just tend to feel like, oh, we have these reforms, let's just leave it there. A new particular government comes to place and then they create another constitution. Or do you think it should be amended further, or we should just leave it? No. And if so, if we should amend it, what areas should be amended?
Well, according to the Constitution of Nigeria, governance is continual. A government will come with a policy and go with a policy.
Because sorry
if
to add,
another government takes over, they should carry on with it.
Because looking at our national anthem, I recall that we were singing a particular one, and then another government comes in place and said, okay, we are changing it. The ruling party came and said, we are changing it to the old one.
That is why I said government supposed to be continual.
Okay.
Regardless of, if you see certain good things the previous administration have done, and you can pick from that, so why can't you build on that? It's a continuity. It's continuum. And that's one thing, the problem we have in this country. There is no sustainability. A government will come with a policy, and when another one comes, they will abandon that policy and come up with their own policy agenda or whatever, and which is not good for a country. So there's supposed to be a constant continuity development and sustainability, and that's how it's supposed to be.
So look, talking about the continuum, I'm quite interested in this because the gubernatorial candidate for APM, in Oyo State, is canvassing for Omitutun 3.0.
Yes.
So is it that it's going to be a continuation of what Governor Seyi Makinde is doing, or maybe it's still going to be like Governor Seyi Makinde is still the one in ruling Oyo State? Because by proxy, because people will feel like, are you sure power has changed hands?
But don't forget one thing.
Okay.
We have sustainable development and the continued development, because this particular guy that was recommended by the elders council to take over from Engineer Oluyole Makinde is a project manager. He knows about governance. So we don't want to bring someone who's not competent enough to build on the legacy of Engineer Makinde, and that is why he was brought because of his experience. We don't want someone who will start all over from the scratch again. We want accelerated continuity of governance so that the people of Oyo State will continue to enjoy the benefits of democracy. That is why. Okay. So continuity is very important.
Okay.
And that's why I put this guy there who has done it, who is tested and trusted. But his loyalty is not to Engineer Seyi Makinde.
Okay. Because that needs to be clarified.
It's to the people of Oyo State, not to Engineer.
Because I remember, growing up,
people will continue to say a lot of things, but it's continuity. The loyalty, the man's loyalty is for the people of Oyo State, not to Engineer Seyi Makinde. I can show you of that.
Okay, because I remember, Kwara State started with Saraki,
and
then it became a family thing, and quite a number of people started saying that
it's not going to happen. Okay. It's not going to happen.
Oh, all right. So many Nigerians, they are now skeptical about politicians' promises, and they believe that it's the same thing they keep saying. Election will come, they will say this particular thing, we'll do this, we'll do that, and then we see same cycle going on and on. So why should we believe the APM's declaration? Why should we believe their propaganda? Why should we believe their agenda?
It's not I've said it. Are we better off or worse off? That's my question to you too. Under the present move of government in the country, are we better off or worse off? Even compare the present government with the government of Goodluck Jonathan. You can't compare it. There's no comparison at all. You understand? If we are worse off, what are we waiting for? For them out. It's as simple as if any politician promises, oh, I will do this, I will do that, and he fails to do that, throw them out. We can't arrest some people. Politicians derive.
But it's actually easier said than done, sir. Because you say the power rest of people. Oh, okay.
Because politicians derive their political legitimacy from the people. They must act into popular demands. If they don't do what they promise to deliver to you, they will always come back, because politicians will always ask for another term. So we will never find anybody
But you said that we can, talking about holding these politicians accountable, it takes two to tango, yeah? And looking at the youth, looking at the elderly ones, they've actually been bought. They've actually been brought to so many things. So calling them, making them to be accountable would actually take a lot of work. And I'm not sure that even the government, they can, looking at the NSAS thing, and when the youth were actually demanding that they put an end to SARS movements in Nigeria, it actually caused an uproar that changed a lot of things, and it got to a level of whereby people were looting stores and the like. So it's actually it's going to be like a declaration of war if we say we start calling these people out and then demanding, because actually the democracy, the rule of democracy in Nigeria, we can actually ask, is the government for the people, by the people, for the people. So yes, but looking at what we have now, it's not looking like it. It's looking like the politicians are working for themselves, not for the people.
Well, let me just answer that question. In any satisfied society, to justify a stable society, my sister, a murder revolution is inevitable. That's why the younger ones should rise up and ask for their rights. If the right is not given to them, so political power does not serve a la carte. You snatch it. They just have to snatch, because politicians will not like to give it to you like that. But you rise up. If you are in unity and in unison, you can get power from all those people recycling themselves. That's why the youth, they are very, very important in the generational shift. So they have to rise up above any sentiment and claim for their right. If you don't claim for their right, nobody will give it to you. If you don't tell people here I am, they will now ask you, oh, here we are. You ask for your right, and it shall be given to you. But not, you know what I mean. You have to use yourself. You must use Panachap and not Panadol.
So we understand that the reforms in your states, they are real, the infrastructure, everything that the governor has been doing is real. But we are looking at Nigeria with far more bigger problems with,
insecurities,
exactly, and
states,
everything. So which of these policies that we have as the governor can actually be applicable on, the national level?
Yeah, that's why I want to go to national level to rescue Nigeria.
We have it small here right now, like it's small, the budget is about, I think, maybe 40 billion naira, and then Nigeria's budget is about 30-something trillion naira. So how, this is a much bigger scale. We're talking about experience, but experience, when you experience things that is small, when you're going to a larger scale, it's still as if it's new to you.
Before President Tinubu got to national level, he was governor of Lagos State for 8 years, right?
Well, it was not immediate transition.
Based on that practical experience, he believes when he gets to the national level, he will do better. But to me, you understand? Experience is very important. So, like I said, Governor Tinubu, because of his age, is dangerously President Tinubu is dangerously approaching 80, and the energy is not there. You need a vibrant young guy with fresh ideas, energies to move this country forward. That's why Engineer Seyimakide is the best man. He's number one now, second to none.
All right, let's take a detour quickly. Yeah, looking at APM, what would you say are their strategies, to push their party to the people, to the grassroots? You know, or will you say that social media would help to change the political participation, you know, for APM?
Well, the economic situation in Nigeria will determine the direction we are going in 2027. If you think it's better, we are better off, yes. But if you think we are worse off, people would take their destiny in their hands. If we don't deserve the sympathies of these leaders, I think we should be left alone to work out our destiny that is more appropriate to our means and circumstances come 2027. So we don't have to be sharing our strategy on the social media for other people to know where we're heading to, because we knew that we are going to face a serious opposition, which is APC. So we want to.
Are you sure it will not change the political participation? Because most of the youth, they are on social media, and that's where they derive information.
And that is why we're talking to the youth to wake up from their slumberness and support the APM, who will change their life for better. We are not going into national politics to deceive anybody. We have seen it all, so nobody is happy. And there's no hope for our children. Look at our children abroad. Where's the home for them now to come back? They're not happy. They don't want to come to Nigeria. Look at the level of insecurity. They are afraid. They don't want to come there to their fatherland. So we need a better Nigeria, like I said. So, and that will determine the direction we're going in 2027.
Okay, so we need to wrap up now. So in summary, looking at the Nigeria's political future and the general elections for 2027, so what is that one message you'd like to pass across to Nigerians and also to national leaders, you know, the future leaders that are conversing for the higher bid?
Well, summarily, we want a better Nigeria. Nigeria deserves better. We can't be suffering in the midst of plenty. We want a control Nigeria with new eyes and new lenses. And our leaders should realize one thing, that whatever they do today becomes history tomorrow. There's always a day after tomorrow and a better house after the White House. And failure to achieve something better for us in Nigeria, the children will ask questions. Mom and Dad, what did you do when this country came under siege? And the failure and success of any leadership, will be on the pages of history. We can't change yesterday, right? We can't fight that future. But the situation we find ourselves, we must still handle it cleverly and work harder for the future. And that future in question will always remain indefinite. So let us work together, put our hands together, and work for a better Nigeria of our dreams.
All right, thank you so much, Alhaji Majekodunmi Aborode, a political stalwart and the former commissioner for environment under late Governor Christopher Lawakala. It's been a wonderful minute having you on Breakfast Fiesta today. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much for having me here.
All right, so yes,
we also have Mr. Ademola Adeyo, aka Baba Oluyole. Thank you so much for coming.
As his entourage. Alright, it's still Breakfast Fiesta, and the news is going to fly by 11. When we are back, we have another guest for us, and we're going to be looking at the 7 years of Governor Seyi Makinde, you know, an assessment by a particular ethnic group in Oyo State. Don't go anywhere, stay with us.
Thank you very much.
Chit chat and inspiration for the morning. Regular heads up on global observances. Thorough and insightful analysis from experts and professionals. You don't have to look any further, cause Breakfast Fiesta serves you all you need. We make your day come alive. Start your day with Breakfast Fiesta.
Ohun èlò tuntun kan ti wà fún sísè àwọn oúnjẹ aládùn. Ṣé ló sọ gbogbo oúnjẹ tá a sè dàjẹ́ pọ́nnu lá? Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Tasty Cubes chicken flavour á fàdùn ara máa ń da sóúnjẹ. Mo ti gba ti Tasty Cubes chicken flavour lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀. Tó bá jẹ bẹ́ẹ̀, má já fara o. Sáré lọ ra Tasty Cubes chicken flavour tiẹ̀ lónìí láti máa jẹ̀gbádùn oúnjẹ àjẹpọ́nnu lá. Tasty Cubes chicken flavour ó ń fún wa lóúnjẹ tó gbádùn. Tasty Cubes chicken flavour ó wà lọ́lọ́gọ́rùn-ún gíráàmù ọlọ́gọ́rùn-ún mẹ́rin gíráàmù àti ọlọ́gọ́rùn-ún mẹ́fà gíráàmù ó tún wà níyẹ̀ fún.
It's 11 o'clock. Good morning and welcome. It's the news on the hour. We begin the reports from the nation's commercial capital with reports that Lagos State government has advocated measures to reduce interaction between passengers arriving Ebola virus into the country. The Director General of the Africa Center for Disease Control and Prevention, Jane Keseya, says 263 confirmed Ebola cases have been recorded in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda as of May 30. The Lagos State Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, said the move is in partnership with the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria with critical as the state steps up surveillance and preparedness measure at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, MMIA, to prevent the transmission of Ebola virus disease into Nigeria. This, he said, was crucial as concerns grew over the resurgence of the deadly viral infection in parts of Central and Asia Africa. Meanwhile, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have intercepted 380 rounds of military-grade ammunition in Kaduna State and arrested a couple linked to the possession. Femi Babafemi disclosed this in a statement stating that NDLEA operatives, while on patrol along the Abuja-Kaduna Highway at Jere on May 24, intercepted a 30-year-old suspect, Sunusi Musa, allegedly transporting 380 rounds of 7.62 mm. Suspect and the recovered ammunition had been handed over to the appropriate security agency for further investigation and action. That ends the news on the hour. Thank you for listening.
ẹ̀ka àárọ̀ ìròyìn yálẹ̀ta. Ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ti dábàá ṣíṣe àgbékalẹ̀ àwọn ìlànà tó wà fún àti dènà kí àwọn èèyàn máa ní ìfarakínra pẹ̀lú àwọn èrò tó bá ń dé láti àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tí ọwọ́jà àrùn Ebola ti gbilẹ̀ kó má bàa ta àkóso orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Alákòóso gbogbogbò fún ibùdó tó ń dènà àjàkálẹ̀ àrùn ìnílẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ Jim Kaseya fìdí ẹ̀ múlẹ̀ wípé àkọsílẹ̀ àrùn Ebola 2,300 ni wọ́n ti ní nílẹ̀ olómìnira Congo àti Uganda lọ́gbọ̀njọ́ oṣù karùn-ún ọdún yìí. Kọmíṣánná fétò ìlera ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Akin Àbáyọ̀mí jẹ́ kó di mímọ̀ wípé ìgbésẹ̀ náà pọn dandan ní ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ ìgbìmọ̀ aláṣẹ tó rí sí àkóso àwọn pápákọ̀ òfurufú FAN gẹ́gẹ́ bí ara ọ̀nà láti dènà kí àrùn Ebola gba pápákọ̀ òfurufú Murtala Mohammed wọlé sí orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Àjọ tó ń sí gbígbógun ti gbígbé àti ìlòkulò ògùn nílẹ̀ yìí NDLEA ti gbésẹ̀ lé nǹkan ìjagun àwọn ọmọ ológun tó tó 400 ní ìpínlẹ̀ Kaduna tí ọwọ́ sì tẹ ọkọ àti ìyàwó kan tí wọ́n fi ẹ̀sùn kàn wípé wọ́n ká ìdí igbó cannabis tó lé díẹ̀ ní tọ́ọ̀nù kan mọ́ wọn lọ́wọ́. Olùdarí ẹ̀ka ètò ìròyìn nínú àjọ NDLEA Fẹ́mi Ọbáfẹ́mi ṣiṣọ́ lójú ọ̀rọ̀ yìí nínú àtẹ̀jáde tó fi síta, èyí tó fi jẹ́ kó di mímọ̀ wípé lásìkò tí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ ìpàráàrò lópòpónà Àbújá sí ìlú Kaduna ní agbègbè Ìjẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ 15 oṣù karùn-ún ọdún yìí ní ọwọ́ tẹ àwọn èèyàn náà. Ọwọ́ tún tẹ Sànúsí Músá ẹni 30 ọdún lórí ẹ̀sùn pé ó ń gbé nǹkan ìjagun olóró ìdí 400 lọ sí ìpínlẹ̀ Katsina. Ọbáfẹ́mi fi kún ọ̀rọ̀ wípé àwọn afurasí yìí àtàwọn nǹkan ìjà olóró tí wọ́n rí lọ́wọ́ wọn ni wọ́n ti fà lé àwọn agbófinró tọ́rọ̀ kàn lọ́wọ́. Ìròyìn ní ṣókí wa fún ti àárọ̀ òní kò ní jù báyìí lọ, ẹ máa yáṣẹ́.
Oluyole FM 98.5. Oluyole FM 98.5. Chit chat and inspiration for the morning. Regular heads up on global observances. Thorough and insightful analysis from experts and professionals. You don't have to look any further, cause Breakfast Fiesta serves you all you need. We make your day come alive. Start your day with Breakfast Fiesta, ensuring that you begin your day on a bright and productive note, bringing you an array of topics from different spheres of life, informative, entertaining, with all the spice to make your day just right. Breakfast Fiesta, we bring your day alive. It's the Fiesta. It's the Fiesta.
Alright, so welcome back. It's still Breakfast Fiesta on Oluyole 98.5 FM Ibadan. And yes, we said our second guest is going to join us after the news. And we already have in the house with us the president of Ohanize Indigbo Worldwide in Oyo State chapter, the Oyo State chapter president, and he's in person of Mr. Ume Okechukwu Nwabunike. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
First I will say Igbokwenu. Good morning, sir. Thank you for coming to Breakfast Fiesta today. Okay, so the focus is the 7 years of Governor Seyi Makinde in office. Yes, as a governor of your state, and you being an entrepreneur, you being somebody that is business oriented, I must say a veteran businessman, and the secret and Igbos generally, Igbos generally are very creative, they are very innovative. When it comes to business, they are up and doing. So what would you say is the secret behind Igbo success stories in business activities, especially in Oyo State?
Well, like you rightly said, that Igbo people are enterprising and we are business oriented. You are now asking about the secret. You know, when you talk about secret, you know that every success story has its own secret side. I can tell you the major secret about the Igbo success in business lies on I will call it precepts. I will call it endurance and commitment. The Almighty God created people with different gifts, and like the good book say, there are people who gave different gifts. Some manage their own well and they get returns.
The talent.
Some bury their own and got cost in return. But I feel that the Igbo people were able to harness our own talent
in Oyo State, right?
In Oyo State, and we are managing it well. Then with the enabling environment being created by our pragmatic governor in Engineer Sheyi Makinde, if I want to enumerate, time might not permit me to say so. I am not a press singer for anybody, and I'm not campaigning for anybody, but I'm trying to say the fact the way we feel it, because I think the government is better being appraised by the people being governed. So if you ask me to a kind of rate the government of Sheyi Makinde as far as the past 7 years, I will tell you that he has done marvelously well. Let me pick a particular incident during the COVID-19 per se. You know that almost all the governors in Nigeria shut down business activities, closed down borders and everything. But you know, Engineer Sheyi Makinde, the governor, didn't follow the same approach. His own approach to that is another dynamic. He has to get the professionals, get the intellectuals to monitor the state of things and follow it gradually. You know that Oyo State do not shut down borders. Business activities were going on.
Wow.
So it makes the difference even to our people. And the enabling environment for the peaceful coexistence among our people and our host community is another good area for it. When there is no peace, you don't talk about success and progress. So you can see there is a very big harmony and a peaceful coexistence among we, the guests, and our host community. These are all part of I can tell you, programs or antecedents of the governor himself.
Okay. So how was your relationship with the governor been so far? Like the Ohaneze Indigbo. How has that collaboration been?
It has been a very good relationship. I can tell you, like every other group or family, sometimes there are skirmishes and kind of misunderstanding, but because the governor is very interested in us as the Igbo, and I know other ethnic nationalities in Oyo State as well, he mediated. We have an SSA in the person of Honorable Innocent Mosu Toles, who is the SSA on Community Matters, Igbo Community, and he's doing wonderfully well too. As far as the government of Oyo State is concerned, and I know it is because the governor created that platform and the enabling environment for him. So I know he has been a very cordial and good relationship amongst us and his government, but notwithstanding, we still expect more. As Oliver twist.
All right, so looking at the issue of insecurity in Oyo State, particularly the Oluyole local government area, the abduction and the kidnappings that happened recently. So what is that one message you like to say to, you know, the good people of Oyo State generally, and you, the guests in Oyo State as well?
Well, the incident itself is height of cruelty, is wickedness per se, is inhuman, at least when you follow the story itself as it unfolds, you can see that there are act of beastly characters into that. And I will not tell you that it only concerns the locals, because now when you be able to look at it, you have not even be able to keep clear the people involved, the children that are involved there. When you go by their names, you might end up discovering that even ours, everybody is involved. So it is a thing that, like you say, business, we are centered mostly on business. But when the environment is not secure, the business is not thriving. Most times we move goods from one end to another. We go on night drives, moving in business. But now, you know, the situation is not the same. So that incident alone that have just happened, and is one that we are having at hand, is very dehumanizing, and everybody is pent towards that. All what we are praying is that the Almighty, the bigger God, will intervene and see that these children come out, because it could be anybody's children. And honestly, anytime I want to talk about it, I feel so sad, because like I say, it could be anybody.
Exactly.
So we pray and we stand by the governor, because he is the father to all. So in this aspect, it's his children that are in captive. So nobody thinks the governor himself is happy or rejoicing about it. I know himself is in a very tight situation. So we stand by him.
We've spoken about the movement of people, you know, conducting business and everything. So how would you advise that we all, you know, stay safe and, you know, amidst all the everything that is going on?
Well, if you say how do I advise we stay safe?
Well, the government will do their part, but, you know, we also have our part to play. You know, like maybe you go to the market and then you're coming back as late as
to be security conscious,
because
how
you're
do you
trying
tell
to
people to be security conscious?
Is a situation that have come. Actually, nightlife too is part of development. In any, you know, when governor at the inception of his office, he started putting on the street lights to encourage nightlife in your state. So now, if we are admonishing people should go back home, you see that is not a good one to the society. But it's a situation that has faced us, and we have to adjust, at least for a period of time, while we still plead with the government to see whatever they can do. Human beings, we are social animals. We are meant to socialize. We are meant to interact. So that's the way I look at it.
Okay, so being the leader of the Igbo community in your state, what advice would you have for the politicians jostling for campaigns as we approach the 2027 general elections?
Well, I have just one word for them, to tell them that politics is not a do or die affair, and it's not something you just you know, people grab power for a reality. If the main purpose or reason why one is grabbing power is not for the interest of the masses, I think it's a wrong position. So I will advise the politicians to have the interests of the masses, the governed, at heart, so that politics will not be to come and reach your pocket, to come and self-aggrandizement and shenanigans as we are experiencing in some part of the country. Come to serve people, you know, like we have talking about the governor now. You see that he serves people well. That's why we are talking good about him. There's a governor in Nigeria now, in his state. People are afraid to contest against him. It's because he has served the people well. So let us emulate these good people and follow their steps, not just coming to grab power and wield it. You know, power, if you wield power, it is a dangerous thing. It can destroy even you and the people you wield it against. So my advice to them is, let's embrace humility and eschew these shenanigans and power flexing. Let's know that we are coming to serve people. And if truly and genuinely we are coming to serve people, you don't have to be desperate about it. Let the people choose you to serve them, and then you serve them well. So that's my...
So the acceptance of the Igbos in Oyo State by the host community, how would you say it has been, coupled with the fact that with the governor's involvement with the Igbos, saying that you have SSA, that is handling that particular affairs. So how would you say the acceptance of the Igbos by the host community? How has it been?
Well,
in relations to business, yes.
Well, it didn't just start with the governor.
Okay, yeah.
The governor, we are talking about 7 years. Somebody like me has stayed over 30 years in Oyo State.
Wow.
And I have my fathers and my elders who have stayed over 50 years.
So you understand Yoruba?
Maybe we want us to start speaking so we can speak now.
You can tell us
the host communities have been wonderful. I remember when I visited the just immediate past Olubado, he prayed for the Ndibo in Ibadan and said he knows our antecedent is for business. So he prayed that we should go and do our business peacefully and succeed in the land. And I know the current Babaladoja, the Kabiyesi, is too He prays for us all the time, and we are succeeding. If the land is not accepting us, we won't be succeeding in the land. So it's because the land...
How about the good people of Oyo State?
The good people, they are wonderfully well. That's what I'm telling you. If the cordiality is not there, why would we succeed? Because there is cordiality. I can tell you, even, politics divides us. Some unhealthy competition divides us.
Ethnicity, religion,
tribalism, and all these things. They're not healthy. But there are things that brings us together. Like we intermarry. I can tell you, within the last 1 year to now, I can count like 7, 8, or 10 intermarriage that have taken place between Igbos and this community. Amongst my own people, amongst my own relatives too. So you can see the
narratives are changing.
Of course, definitely. So those people that will say, they've gone there. Some are saying they've not seen it, but now, talking by experience, they won't say that anymore because the bonding is there. So I pray that the bonding becomes more and more cordial, so that when there's peace, there's bound to be progress.
Definitely.
It's been good 7 years with the governor of Oyo State. Well, as his tenure is coming to an end now, how are you looking to keep up the good relationship with the next administration? All the things that he has put in place for the Igbo community to make sure that they remain irrespective of who comes into power the next tenure.
Well, I know that government is all about continuum. But sometimes Nigerian politics doesn't make it to be so. The dynamics of the Nigerian politics, sometimes it changes. The time I met with governor himself, I played one funny one. I say that if there is a politics I want to play, is the politics of bringing you in for a third term. Because you are enjoying the ride and the cruise with you. So better. Be that as it may, we know his tenure is coming to an end and he has to go. But we are looking forward, if he recommends somebody as who accepts the successor he might be recommending, and possibly the person emerges as the next governor. I believe that it will be a continuity, the continued relationship with the individual.
Okay, so what is that one message, to wrap up? What is that one message you'd like to say to the Igbo community, the host, as regards Nigeria as a whole, as regards what is going on, insecurities, and how we can have a better and one Nigeria?
I'll have my message will go in two parts. To the government and to the people. To the government, I will say that this is the time for healing. They will be doing things that will be promoting healing and bonding among the indigenous and the natives of the government, not just things that will be breaking us And maybe in terms of politicizing, you break people, you bring tribes, you bring ethnics and religion into it. No, this is the time to be bringing in things that will be healing and bonding. Like we have, in essence, Nandikano that have been held up since. People have been admonishing, apply political solution, all this one. So we lend our voice and say, release the young man. Like in the southeast, there's this tension. People feel hated and all this marginalized. So if we do things that will promote that healing, you know that there will be much bonding and love. The distrust will not be there. Then to the citizens of the nation, what I will preach is love. What I will preach is love. Because I know that there's no religion, there's no tribes or culture that we abhor love. When you have love, love supersedes all. It covers sins. If I love